Hello everybody, this is Mike from MBoxWave.com. I just got into a long position on this morning's gold. Well, it's a little later on in this morning. I was watching ES and E-mini Dow and NASDAQ. NASDAQ was kind of all over the place. The others were kind of ranging, so it was kind of a sort of a waiting day, and so I finally saw a setup, a decent setup in gold. So that's the trade I'm in right now. So I just got in around here. We had these two pullback signals. One of them is in a trend. So I'm just going to go over the analysis, I guess, and we'll see what happens. I put my stop under here, under the swing point. Actually, I wanted to have it more to be below the swing point, and take profit here. So I didn't cat this move. I wasn't even looking at the screen. I started looking at the screens around 9. So this move was already over, but I saw there was a substantial move down in gold, and then see it ranged for quite some time, and so I drew this box here. See that it was kind of going nowhere, but so initially we see all the supply. We see it in the MBox delta here. We see it in the cumulative delta. We see selling. We see the M pace sort of climactic, but price continued down. We made this low, but afterwards, there's no new low, right? So that's one of the things I want to see here, because when we entered this range and we kind of went up here, this high took out this corrective pullback here. So in my analysis for the trade I took, I'm looking at this as accumulation, this whole green thing right here, and that it took out this corrective high here. So I'm basing my trade off of this bullish sign right here, and that this was climactic since we didn't make any new lows here. All right, so let's get into it. So that's this. So this is, I'm viewing as accumulation. All right, we're about $900 in, so that's good. So let me get this in here. So this is accumulation. All right, and so this trade wasn't a high risk, so we'll see how it turns out. But my reward looks like it's almost 4, if not 4, close to 4. So that's why I'm not too worried about it, about the trade. So let's see. So we had the accumulation here. We had the clear rise on the MBox delta. So I like it when I see, MBox delta expanding. So I like it when I see a clear rise. So as opposed to this, right, we've got all this here. It's a little bit of supply, but it's kind of just choppy up and down. There's no clear rise. There's no clear expansion. So it just looks like it's sort of flip-flopping. So it's because of this, there's no noticeable supply, right? As opposed to the MBox delta, it's expanding. You see the blue box here, here, here. They're all rising here. It's just flip-flopping. So there's no clarity in the supply. So supply not clear. It's not really going anywhere. So to me it looks like no supply. So we had these nice 2 pullback signals, both of these. We had here, and here is in a trend. So it means it's a higher high. So we had higher highs and higher lows. So if it's in the brackets, it's a pullbacks happening in a trend. So we got 2 nice pullback signals here. Okay, so that started making it look interesting And given the context of everything I was looking at, that's why it started looking like a long position. Okay, we're over 1900, 2 grand in profit. It looks like it's going on our direction. That's good. So here we had a, crossover to cumulative buying. It wasn't substantial here yet, but it is a crossover. So we had a or to cum buying. All right. Here in the cumulative selling, it's less. So, cumulative selling is contracting here. Guess that disappeared on me. Oh. Okay. Well, it's not the first time that happened. Contracting. All right, let's get that in here. All right. So, when we got here, it doesn't look like much, but, right here, and when we got into trade, the offers did begin to outpace the bids, and they are continuing to do so. So that's the thing, is that everything is relative, It's not as wild as, after gold opened and we had this huge one, but if we look at it here, we are outpacing the bid. So in my book, that counts. All right. And everything is about the confluence, right? How many, I'm not just looking at one thing. I got to see a lot of arguments here to enter a trade, right? So, cumulative selling contracting showed up there. All right, so the other things that I noticed in the wave delta, so here we made a higher high, and the 24 looked like, let me move that a little bit, it looked like a sign of demand, right? Higher high, and there's more buying. So that plus 24 shows wave demand. All right, that's wave demand. And I really like this one right here, this -1. So here it looked like supply is not clear, but in the -1 really clearly showed no supply, So that made it even more convincing. All right. So the -1 shows no supply. All right. And so we were ranging, for a while here. Bada, 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 ba. It doesn't matter how I just drew this sort of rectangle here. So we were ranging for a while. And what happened during the range? Accumulation, right? We didn't have any new lows. So there was no case for selling here, right? So the question was, if we were going to go long, when would that be? And I saw that, the MBox delta was expanding. We had these two pullbacks, right? -1, no supply. All right, all these other things here. Crossover, cumulative buying, offers outpacing bids. So let's see how many points confluence do we have here. So let's start from here, the left of the chart. Accumulation, that's 1. Right, so we had this cumulative selling contracting, that's 2. Crossover to cumulative buying, that's 3. We have the MBox delta expanding, that's 4. The supply here is not clear, so it looks like no supply, that's 5. Right? We had the plus 24 shows wave demand, that's 6. -1 shows no supply, that's 7. We had 2 pullbacks, so those are 1 point each, so that's 8 and 9. And the offers outpacing the bids. So that's 10 points of confluence. That's just how I like it. 10 points or more. Right? And actually there's, we can add an 11th point is, we saw here some supply at this point, but here there's no renewal of it. you know, so there's no renewal of supply. So, you know, we could say that's, you know, 11 points. And after we got in here, right here in the MBox delta, there's no supply. That's a confirmation of our position. You know, you could say it's 12 points. So, you know, when you've got this sort of range going on for a while, something's got to happen eventually, right? I mean, it's you know, accumulating, right? It's a Wyckoff principle, you know, cause and effect. You know, for this up move to happen, there needed to be this cause, this accumulation, and it's happening over time, and you know, no new lows. So looks so far good. I mean, in terms of hitting the take profit, I just set it here. That was the only point of this was previous point of support up here. We'll see if it makes it. If something changes in the technical analysis, I might have to get out, but for the time being, it looks like we're in decent shape. And this is good. I like this. See this 24 to 33? That gives me, you know, confidence to keep in the trade because the wave demand is expanding. All right. And this box grew. We'll see about this one. So the M pace, we're outpacing the bids. All right, so I'm going to put the record on pause. Oh, looks like we are jumping. All right. Well, we'll see if that happens, when that happens. So we're $4,000 in profits. So I'm going to put the record on pause and come back when we see more action. But it looks like the pace is really picking up here. All right, I'm going to put the record on pause. All right, so we just got out. Take profit got triggered. Right, so got in here, got out here. It was just kept going up. There was nothing too concerning along the way. We had this small pullback here, but it didn't even register as a wave. You know, still not that much supply. So who knows if this will keep going up. We'll have to check this, but actually I'm pleased with the results, $6,500 in profit. So that's really good. Played out how I saw it. But I think in terms of if it's going to continue, I'm not sure, because look at this cumulative buying. It's sort of flatlined here. For it to continue, I think it needs to rise. So it looks like it's a good exit. So that trade worked out really well. So always look for many points of confluence, and that way you can be sure that you have a higher probability of success, you know, and adjust your risk reward accordingly. This trade was almost a 4 reward to the risk. So anyway, that's it for me today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.